Hello everyone, welcome to the Sunday Guardian show by Joyeeta Basu. I am the editor of the newspaper The Sunday Guardian, and today I want to speak a bit about the latest phenomenon of Indian origin, Rishi Sunak. Now on social media, I am getting posts about Sunak almost every hour, and Indians at least are following every step the British Prime Minister takes with bated breath. Worse, some of these are even fake posts. Now frankly, all this is a bit too much. Now the advice that I will give to such Indians is, don't overdo it, do a reality check, temper your glee about him visiting temples and attending Diwali celebrations. Yes, he is a Hindu and unapologetically so, kudos to him for that, but he is not Indian, he is British, and we don't yet know what his policies regarding India will be, and that's all that should matter to us. What India-UK relations will be like during his government. Now the call between him and our Prime Minister gives us some hope that the ties will not be derailed like the way they were in the time of Theresa May, who too was a Conservative Prime Minister by the way. Now I just hope Sunak does not turn out to be another Kamala Harris, advising India on human rights from her high pedestal. Now the lady who has an infamous niece called Meena Harris, who went around screaming on Twitter about quote-unquote fascist India. Now don't forget that soon after assuming power, Rishi Sunak brought back Suella Braverman. Now the lady who was brimming with happiness that the British colonized India. Now so much so that she even forgot that the only way people like her ancestors could have reached Mauritius was as bonded labour, taken there by the British colonialists. Now Indians being angry with Suella Braverman for her insensitivity or seeking an apology from her did not stop Sunak from bringing this extremely obnoxious lady to his cabinet. But then he will do what he thinks is good for him politically and what is good for the UK, and rightly so. So my dear fellow Indians, Sunak's elevation is not about you. It has never been about you. Hence, can you please keep the euphoria under check? In fact, if it is about anyone, if it is about the British, who did not allow race to be a factor in this case, which I think is remarkable. Now, if some Indians are feeling vindicated having a brown man become the Prime Minister of their former colonial masters, at the same time think about the distance the British have covered from being colonial masters to let someone with origins in one of the colonies take charge of the country because he is competent. I mean, that's a very big deal if you ask me. Now, I am not saying that there is no racism in Britain. Now, check out the way Sunak's rival Penny Mordaunt hung on till the last minute, hoping that the contest would go beyond the MPs who chose Sunak and that the final vote would be decided by the Tory base of white middle-aged rural voters. The same place where Sunak lost to Liz Truss earlier. And it is not policy but skin color matters to a substantial section of that base. Now you should listen to the audio clip that has gone viral on social media. Now where a Tory voter openly says on a radio program that the problem with Sunak is his skin color. Now look at the way a section of the British media cannot stop complaining about the legitimacy of Rishi Sunak's quote-unquote non-election. Now one reporter I heard on live TV even described it as a coronation. You see, they are forgetting that in a parliamentary system of democracy, now it is the people's representatives, the MPs, who choose the Prime Minister and not the party rank and file. Now some of the others are openly complaining that Sunak is too rich to be Prime Minister. Now again forgetting that Sunak himself comes from a middle class background and his wife's family story, if not from rags to riches, is at least a case of middle class to riches. Now we are talking self-made people here, not colonial exploiters who built an empire on the back of the starving masses. More importantly, we don't even know how long Sunak will last. He has the humongous task of dragging Britain of the economic morass it has fallen into, and it will not be easy. As for the debate in India about when a Muslim will become Indian Prime Minister, Lest we forget, Rishi Sunak was elevated to the Prime Minister's chair because of his competence, not because of his skin color or his religious minority status. Rishi Sunak's ascension is not a case of affirmative action. A Muslim too can become Indian Prime Minister through a legitimate process. In the end, my point is simple. Have a sense of pride in who we are, Indians. Now, the British may have ruled us for 2 centuries, but right now, 1 out of 7 people in UK is skipping at least 1 meal a day because they cannot afford to eat. Now, don't forget that India has overtaken the UK economically. In fact, this very fact should negate the argument that India does not provide opportunities to its people to succeed. Now, think of Britain like this. It is a country that has built its wealth on our back, and one of the reasons why they are in such a bad shape now is because there is no Indian colony to supplement their depleting finances. Now, while we should strive for good relations with the UK, we need to be proud of who we are and what we have achieved in the last 75 years, in spite of our horrific colonial past. And this is just the beginning of our story. Hence, stop basking in the reflected glory of Rishi Sunak becoming UK Prime Minister and move on. Thank you for watching. Until the next time.